Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are, Aussie Formula Racing Season 8, Round 4 here at Melbourne. Joined here tonight with Psycho in the commentary box. I'm Gus Rules. How you going, Psycho?
Good, man. Good. Good to be back in here. It's been a while.
Absolutely. Alright, so here we are for full qualifying here in Tier 1. And having a look, everyone looks like they're going on softs and medium tyres, so I wonder if there's a bit of wet weather about. Psycho, do we have any news from the pit lane?
I haven't heard anything. I'm not 100%. Let me go and check.
Yeah, because usually we have some drivers opting to use up a set of intermediate tyres because the game doesn't quite allocate you the same number of tyres as real life. But yeah, it looks like everyone on the slick tyres, so I wonder if there's just maybe meant to be a bit of rain in the race and they're trying to save an extra set of inters for their race tyre allocation, but we'll find out shortly. Thank you very much for the follow, Sparky Mark Hughes. Always good to shout out for our supporters.
I stuck my head out the comms box, and it's looking like blue skies all the way.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. I wonder if maybe the intermediates are just a little bit too sketchy in dry conditions. No one's quite brave enough to do it. I think especially that fast chicane in Sector 2, a little bit hairy, I think, in with those tyres.
From the AlphaTauri pit wall, I believe the reasoning is exactly that. Is because the walls are so close, it's a little risky to go out on the inters.
We saw as well last week in Saudi Arabia that FIBA tried the full wet tyre and nearly skated straight into the wall. There's just no grip on these street circuits with wet tyres when it's dry, let alone when it's wet. So yeah, no surprises there. Just on board with Simdogger from Aston Martin, just on his first qualifying lap. And it's amazing just the difference in the lighting compared to Tier 3. It was pretty overcast in short quali for Tier 3, but Tier 1 starting a little bit earlier in the afternoon. And we've got those long shadows to contend with. Hopefully it doesn't catch anyone out with their brake markers. Looking like a pretty tidy banker lap here from the Aston Martin driver. Thank you very much for the follow, Keszien, and also AV Greenie. We do have CJM filling in tonight again here in Tier 1. And we're trying to get another reserve in, but couldn't quite get to the full 20 tonight. But we did have a great turnout for Tier 3 a little bit earlier, so hopefully you can go back and watch that stream. It was pretty excited with a couple of safety cars and a lot of incidents, a lot of retirements too.
Speaking of incidents and retirements, we have an AlphaTauri, the AlphaTauri bait mate at turn 2 that decided to try and do the rest of the lap without a front wing.
Look, it happens to the best of us, Psycho. I did the same thing first hot lap in qualifying with Tier 3. Came through here in turn 2 and just lost the rear, and pretty lucky not to lose a tyre. But anyway, Simdogger, first one on the board with a 122.397. Expect him to have that time beaten pretty quickly. We've got his teammate Ekim. Looked like he had a bit of a moment there coming out of the final corner. He's right in the middle of the road. A bit of a wobble. 123.5 as Pondon sets 121.5 on the soft tyres. The first of our representative times. Expect some of the drivers who don't quite think that they'll go the full 3 qualifying sessions will try and use up those soft sets of tyres just to get across the line. Hello, Mark Hughes from the UK. Glad you could tune in. Hope it's a nice morning for you over there.
Yeah, just on that tyre choice fact, it's definitely tougher, and these guys have got to make a lot more clever decisions about what tyre they're on at what time. I fully expect the cutoff for Q3 at least to be around the 21.5 mark, and then Q1 to go around the 21 flat. Just from what I've seen from these guys in practice throughout the week.
Well, if that's the case, Pondon already on a 21.5, so looking like he might get through to Q2, but we're yet to see if there's any track evolution here. It gets rubbered in. Expect the times to start to drop a little bit. Got a yellow flag in Sector 3. Looks like one of the Williams, possibly, Alpines. I don't know. One of those blue cars.
Too many blue cars.
That's just, the track map is so hard to differentiate them. I really hope on F1 2022 they go with some different colours. We're on board here with combined YouTuber in the Ferrari. Had a pretty good outing at Saudi Arabia last week. He's sort of flown under the radar this season, but he's having a pretty strong start.
He has. He's done pretty well so far. He's one of those drivers that does fly under the radar a lot, but is super consistent. Yeah, he tends to finish nearly every lap of every race.
Absolutely, and it's a pretty strong effort as well, considering he's on the pad, especially Saudi Arabia being such a difficult track. Last week, lots of corners, lots of sharp turns, so he's done very well. And it looks like a pretty solid banker lap from him. He comes around the final corner. Opens up the DRS. Nice and straight. Comes across the line, and it is a 22.3, so currently sitting third fastest in Q1. Drop down to Sam Deasy now in the Alfa Romeo on the medium, so I think he's actually aborted this lap. He has invalidated, so jump up to Crush in the other Ferrari. And it goes through the first sector.
Good Rio getting a lot of sprint time.
They pay the big bucks.
I'm just thinking of the tier 3 ones where...
He's lost the rear. There we go. Lost the rear around turn 4. Stays well out of the way. Good awareness there from Crush of getting out of the way of Mikau as he moves it over to inside of the track to do a flip turn once McLaren and I think there's another Alfa Romeo coming through.
He's going to get a DSQ. He's got to move. Oh, that was probably really close.
Yeah.
I've done it before. If you point the wrong way for too long, the game will just take you out.
Oh, Apollo Pepsi is out. I think that's at the final corner. I'm going to try and find someone to jump aboard with one of the Mercedes. Where is he? There he is, in the middle of the road. Potsy having to go off the racing line to start his lap. Pepsi notoriously does not like Melbourne very much at all. He's... I don't think he's actually finished a Melbourne Grand Prix with AFR. He's usually crashing out at the fast chicane. This time in qualifying, he's out at the final corner. It looked like he might have lost it on the exit curb there. And he's currently in 15th. He may make it through, but I reckon he's probably not going to find himself in Q2, unfortunately.
It actually doesn't matter if you make it through if you set a really good time. If you DNF at any point in quali, you're done for the whole quali.
So the game must know the difference then between you retiring on the track and retiring in the pits, because we've seen the fastest drivers, when they set a good enough time to get through, they'll retire quite early on in the session. So the game has to know the difference then.
If you DNF, the game knows the difference between a DNF and just a straight retire, because retire will take you through to the next session. But if you do DNF, that's it. You're done.
Which makes sense. I mean, that would be a miracle to turn the car around in the 5-10 minutes you've got between qualifying sessions. So,
yeah,
some realism, good to have. Unfortunate for Pepsi.
It just means he's got to sit here for the next half an hour, 40 minutes.
Absolutely. Think about what he's done. Gunther's probably not too happy with him. Anyway, Potsy setting the fastest time of Q1 with a 120.973. Great effort from him. Going to jump back to Crush, I think. He's actually going to set a time. He didn't get any damage from that spin in Sector 1 on his first run, so should be able to complete this one. I don't he'll be able to make it through to Q2 on these medium tyres. It's yet to be known. Batemate's currently P11 with a 2-minute 14.245, so I think he's come across the line with that broken front wing just to get a banker time. I don't know that banker time is going to be worth that much.
No, that's not going to do anything for him. He'll have to burn some soft rubber, I think, if he wants to make it through.
Crush around the final corner. It's on the throttle nice. Oh, there's Sandesi as well, parked in the middle of the road there. Crush comes across the line with 122.522. Just going to jump back. Sandesi, I don't know. He looked like he did exactly the same thing that Pepsi had done, but lucky enough, he's only got a broken front wing. Still got all 4 wheels attached. But,
will he get out of the way as a car on a hot lap? Yeah, he does.
Very unfortunate, but he's also lucky he's made it through. Thank you very much for the follow, Oliver Allen. Jump aboard with and the cat in the Silver Arrow.
Endercat, our Tier 2 Drivers Champion last season, promoted up into Tier 1.
Not much of the curb he's using there. Absolutely maxing out the track limits.
Yeah, surprised that wasn't invalid. That must have been borderline. This is going to be a rapid time.
Absolutely. He's on the soft tyre as well, so must be confident he'll be able to get through on just this one run on this tyre. Final corner, looked like the rear was trying to step out as we pass Pepsi's medium compound tyre, still in the middle of the track. Goes P2 with a 121.221, just 3/10 behind his teammate. It's a rapid lap from the Mercedes pair. We'll jump on with Big Al's Alpine.
Big Al has been showing a lot of pace around here in practice. He's going to be one to watch.
Yeah, it goes quickest with a 120.971. He's 2,000ths of a second quicker than Potsy. Big shout out as well to Big Al, who last week was pretty crook when he was racing. Still managed to put it on the front row of the grid in Saudi Arabia and took home, I think he took home some points. Or did he? Can't remember. But that's a pretty impressive effort to be sick and still manage to be top 2 in this very competitive Tier 1.
Yeah, that is a rapid time, especially for Q1. Those are the sorts of times I'd start to expect to see in Q2 or even Q3.
Absolutely. And just on board with Macadabri in Red Bull. Yeah, Sparky Marcus, just in the chat, I'm looking forward to the real life Australian Grand Prix next week. Hopefully the changes that have been made to the circuit will have the desired effect. Yeah, I haven't actually been to the track myself since they revamped it, but Bandcamp, creator of AFR, has been there. He's got his reservations about just how they've reprofiled it, but after we saw in real life Saudi Arabia as Anakat nearly impedes Macadabri there, I think he distracted him a little bit because he's lost the rear. I think after Saudi Arabia last week in real life, it showed just how closely they can race pretty hard all through the race, so I'm cautiously optimistic. And there's a chance of rain as well in Melbourne next weekend, so could just spice it up even that little bit more. So looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Geordie's managed to put in a 21 flat as well, so that'll secure his spot in Q2.
Yeah, really good time there. T-Mac as well, just about to come across the line. The last driver yet to set a time, and he goes P6 for the 121.585. So good time, starting to show up on the board. 5 minutes left in the session. Thank you for the follow, Netwhip.
Yeah, I'd say that would be probably around where I'd expect the cutoff to be, around Pond and T-Max time.
Well, we just had Ekim set a 121.485, so he's in 5th. T-Mac pushed down to 7th.
Couple of more guys coming around now.
To jump on board with the Haas of Trinis. He's just about to complete his second lap. He's 6/10 up at the moment. That should put him up into a 121.8, which will be good enough for 9th. Comes across the line, and he goes 4th. He found a lot of time in that final sector, and he goes 4th with a 121.133. Great time there. Macadabri as well. Coming across the line with 121.451.
Both Bate and Mikkel are starting laps, I believe.
I'll jump on board with Bate, mate. We don't think that 2 minute 14 is a representative time, so let's jump on board with the AlphaTauri driver. He's had to have a couple of stabs at the turn 3 back there, so it looks like his car might be just that little bit understeery. He nearly squeezes the Haas up against the wall there, making a lot of inside curb. 7 and 8. Hugging the inside of the road, trying to minimise the track distance.
Good exit.
Yeah, really nice. So he's got maximum speed all the way down this straight. Oh, he actually clipped the wall there. It was just heard on board there. He grazed the outside wall just before the 50-metre board. Doesn't look like it's affected him too much. Misses the apex slightly. Flicks it in. These final few corners looking pretty good. Gets the throttle down nice and early. Comes across the line, and it is a 121.561. So safe for now, but our cutoff is now 122.522. So he's about a second clear at the moment. But our driver's at risk Captain of Gold, CJM, Apollo Pepsi, and Sandeezy as Mikhail goes fastest with the 120.837. But 2.5 minutes left in the qualifying one session, so everyone will have time to do one more lap. And yeah, currently those bottom 4 drivers are in danger of not making it through the next qualifying session.
I think possibly it's going to be around where Bait and Pondon are.
Yeah, well, Sandeezy actually invalidated his first run there at this final stint, so he's currently... His first lap as well was not representative. It's about 12 seconds off Pepsi's time. So he's got a bit of work to do. We'll stay with him through this lap. Of course, saw him spin it out of the final corner. That's why that time is so far off the rest of the field.
Much better lap so far.
Yeah, purple in the first sector, according to the track map.
Yeah, using all the track, pushing as hard as you can.
Ooh, a bit of a wobble there. Such a difficult corner for traction. As soon as you get on the throttle, the car just wants to step out. He did well to control it, but that might have hurt his time a little bit. Flicks it in 7th, cuts across the curb, has to get right out of the throttle to avoid spinning the car at Pepsi corner, as we like to call it.
Carried just a bit too much speed.
This is looking like a pretty solid lap. It's about to come across the line. Final corner. And what's that going to be? A 120.997, so he's well and truly safe. His teammate's about to come across the line, setting a 121.260. We've got an Aston Martin of Simdog, I think that was, just came across the line. And Fibo goes fast with the 120.470. Now we've got one of the Ferraris about to start a lap, but I think we've got a Mercedes about to finish one. He's invalidated. And I think everyone else is about to start. We've got 30 seconds to go in the session.
Fiba is 4/10 clear of Macau.
We do have Pondon on a lap in the final sector. He'll be the first one to get the checkered flag, I think. 17 seconds to go, his second last corner now. I think he might just see that flag fly first. Opens up the DRS, he'll come across the line. Is this going to make him safe? Sets a 121.405. And I think his teammate is just got past the checkered flag, so he is good. Going to jump back to Baitmate, who's currently 3/10 up on his time. He's the man at risk with the 121.561. Goes P3 with 120.927. He is safe.
Oh.
Now we're going to jump back. Sandeezy has invalidated again, and his teammate will be the next one to see the checkered flag. So he's currently P11 with a 121.260. He's only 2/10 clear of the cutoff zone, so he's going to have to find time here to improve. And he does, 121.089. Now we're going to see, I think that's Simdog coming into the pits, and it's Combined YouTube will be the next across the line. He's P16, he needs to find some time. He's about a second off the pace at the moment. Is he through to Q2? And he improves, but not by enough. Now his teammate's going to be next across the line. He's currently up by 7/10. Again, it's not going to be enough. He's got to find more time. Has he done it through the final couple of corners? And he's through P12 with 121.528. Now Eckham is going to be across the line with 121.528. Macadabry now is next across the line. Is he safe? He is. And now we see Pondon and CJM going to be next across the line. CJM comes across. Does he improve? Goes P17. He is out of qualifying. Pondon comes into the pits. No one behind him can improve. And we see Simdogger, CJM, Combined YouTuber, and Apollo Pepsi out of qualifying. And less than a second covering 1st to 15th. That's absolutely insanely close. Hello, Lords Viper from Germany. No, these races are 50%, but we do full qualifying for this season. We'll maybe having a full race distance in the future, but we just need to see how popular it's going to be.
That was ridiculous.
Absolutely.
Absolutely terrifyingly fast. I was guessing a 21.5 for cutoff. I'm not far off, so Q2 should be like a 21 flat, I think.
Absolutely. Great analysis there from Psycho. Look at these times. So a 120.470 was the fastest in that session. 1 second for that takes you all the way down to after 16th. So Simdogger was 0.941 behind the fastest time there. Everyone is so quick around here.
Considering how many corners there are around this track, that's an absolutely astonishing spread.
Absolutely. Now let's just have a look at the tyre allocations quickly while we wait for everyone to progress through. So interestingly, Big Al, Potsy, T-Mac and Andercat just using the one set of tyres in that session. Everyone else using either medium soft or soft compound. Geordie there using up 2 compounds in that one session. So he makes it through to Q3. He might find himself just a little bit in trouble there with some grip. So yeah, watching him at the end. Thanks for the follow, Kenny P. Thanks for joining us. All right, here we go, Q2. I imagine everyone's going to be on the soft tyre. Here we go, Potsy, it looks like he's going to be the first one out.
It's just for fun, I just worked that out. That's a 1.3% performance spread between.
That's nuts, absolutely nuts. Thank you very much for the raid, Potterlol. And welcome everyone, this is Aussie Formula Racing Season 8, Round 4, Tier 1. Here at the Australian Grand Prix, which in real life is just next week. Can't wait.
Should be exciting.
Hopefully.
Yeah, through to Q2 now. FIBA absolutely blew me away with that time. I wasn't expecting that big of a spread. It's only Q1 obviously, so we don't really know what the final pace is going to be, but that 4 tenths is a commanding lead.
Absolutely. It's be interesting to see if he's shown his hand too early or if he's still got more time in the bag. Those of you who don't know, FIBA is probably one of the quickest drivers in Australia and New Zealand. And he's regularly quite high up in the leaderboards and time trial for the world, so very, very quick driver.
Ever since he's upgraded his hardware as well, he's become a lot more consistent.
And I point out as well, he's driving with a bit of a headache this evening. He had a bit of an accident in his motocross race this morning. Hopefully he's doing all right, but his times are telling us that he's doing pretty fine. So see how he goes for the rest of qualifying. Jumping on board with Potsy here from Mercedes.
He's got 4 wheels now instead of 2, so the grip should be better. Potterlol in chat, after playing like shit all day, decided to send them some good views.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers, buddy. Appreciate it. Potsy exhibiting that right now, absolutely sending it on this medium set.
Yeah, I thought he went a little bit deep into turn 3. Didn't quite get the apex as he has a big wobble there. And Geordie is out. Geordie is out already. It looks like he's had a crash on his out lap. He's going to jump back to Trin, who's not too far from the accident. It looks like through this fast right-hander, he's just lost it on the exit. And there's his Red Bull parked up on the left-hand side of the track. So, well, I guess that solves his tyre allocation problem, but unfortunately he's going to be starting 15th.
Yep, that's not very fun. Potsy is putting in an absolutely rapid lap on these mediums.
So do you think he's going to try and start on these medium tyres as he has another big wobble out of the final corner, or do you think he's just saving the softs? So he goes 22.0, that's not going to be fast enough, I think, after the times we saw in Q1.
He's saving the softs, and there's no way anyone's going to put a second on that time. I'd expect everyone to go through on softs. The tie delta between the medium and the softs is just too high
Well,
here.
and you said as well, you thought that it's going to be a 121 flat is going to be the cutoff for Q3.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say about a 21 flat. And even with that wobble, I don't think anyone's going to do much better than that on mediums.
Yeah, well, there we go. 21.3 for Trin. 21.6 for Captain of Gold. We got Pondon as well. They come across the line. And that's a 21.8. So yeah, Potsy's 22 flat is definitely not safe. Jump back to Crush, who's sole Ferrari runner. Oh, he's also on the medium tyre. Comes around that final corner. And 22.8 is the best he can manage. Now, we've got Sandeezy. He's pointing the wrong way at Pepsi corner. And he's cooked those rear tyres, so I think he's probably going to come straight into the pits. Go back to Big Al. He's not too far behind. There's a massive train of cars there through Sector 3.
Very steady through Pepsi corner by Big Al. Wilson needs to get out of the way. Yes, he does. Nicely done. We got carrying a lot of speed through the last two corners.
21.2. Great time there from Big Al. Jump back to Anacat, who's the only other driver who's on a flying lap at the moment. Bieber's still in the pits. Sandeezy back in after that spin in Sector 2.
I believe that's a purple sector 1 for Ando.
Ando looking a little
Flat
sketchy
out
there.
through there, yeah. Right on the edge.
Carrying a lot of speed there. If you can keep your foot flat through there, you're doing alright.
Absolutely. It's all about the line though, because you kind of have to cut that inside curb quite a bit in order to keep it flat, and you can't really do it once your tyres have lost that edge, because yeah, you will just spin, end up in the gravel, or worse, in the wall. And Ando 20.9, so there we go. Great time from the Mercedes driver. Now let's have a look. Eckham has invalidated again. We're going to jump back. I think Batemate is actually going to be across the line first out of these drivers who are on fast laps.
Yeah,
Potter, damn, I've got to get one of them to teach me so I stop DNFing every race of this campaign, lol.
Oh, mate.
Batemate's invalidated. Don't worry, Potter, there's plenty of people who will DNF at this track. Just have to look back at Tier 3. I think we had, what, 6 or 7 retirements? So,
Better than we did last season.
that is true. Sometimes you just have to finish the race and you'll end up in the points. So, don't have to be the fastest. And, this is looking like a pretty good lap from Chicago's Purple in second sector.
Okay, one of our
More consistent drivers that's usually racing at the top. Using absolutely every inch of the circuit.
We nearly touched the grass there. I thought he had to make a correction because the rear just seemed to step out of him.
he did have to adjust, yeah.
Comes across the line, he still goes fastest. There's a 20.6. It's absolutely insane. Great lap.
With room to improve.
Absolutely. Now, Eckham yet to put a time on the board, so the pressure is starting to mount on the Aston Martin driver. Is Eckham pad?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Just looking at his steering inputs, look very sudden, like not smooth.
Flixie in chat does say that.
Yeah, his pad. Yeah, cool. So he's done well to get into Q2 here. He's able to finish off this lap. Comes across the line. And it's a 121.555, so not bad, but he's still got time to find there. Now Fever's going to be next across the line. 6 minutes to go, halfway through Q2. And he goes faster to 20.485. That is quick. That is very, very quick.
He's consistently putting in those laps.
Absolutely. Now, Sambesi. It's going to be across the line soon. Oh, he takes a lot of exit curve there, but keeps the foot flat. Comes across the line, goes third fastest at 120.833. I reckon you're right, that 21 flat is looking like it might become the cutoff zone for Q3. Now we're still waiting for Bankmate to set a valid time. I think everyone else is on their in-laps. Might just jump back to Trin, though he's validated, but it looks like he might be starting a new run. He's got enough fuel in the tank.
Also got enough battery. Sixth gear through there. That's
Yeah, absolutely.
pretty high.
I wonder if it's just so you can take more of that exit curve and not have as much wheel spin, because that is a lethal curve if you're in too low a gear. As he nearly loses the rear there as well through turn 3. Keeps it flat for the right-hander.
Hasn't put a foot wrong yet. It's doing well.
Oh, big wobble.
Tough to keep your foot flat down when the rear end starts doing that.
Purple, second sector. I think he just missed that apex though, the left-hander for the chicane.
Yeah, he did.
You really have to try and take all that curb. This is looking pretty good though. Nope, into the pits.
That was a very rapid in lap.
Well, I think because he invalidated that first run, he just did it for a bit of practice. And he's, yeah, he's got some time in the bag. I reckon he can get it into the 20s.
Yep. Again.
Just trying to find a driver on a lap. I think everyone's actually done. They're either coming in or they're leaving the pits. We've got 3.5 minutes left on the clock, and I think Macadabri is about to start a lap for Red Bull. Macau retires from the session. He thinks that at 120.6 is safe, and I'm inclined to agree.
He should be fine with that pace.
Whoa, big moment there for Macadabri, and he invalidates. Looked like he got beached up on that curb, but he exited turn 4.
Yeah, that wasn't.
And
right.
It kind of just took him over the white lines to find the track, so very unfortunate for him.
Captain of Gold starting a lap.
Alright, let's jump on board with the Alfa Romeo driver.
Ooh, he doesn't stick left. There's a little bit of time if you stick to the left. To the right, I mean. Hey, Marcus. Yeah, we're going right, mate. What about you? Cap's definitely making up for it. He's looking very tidy through the second sector.
So he's currently the cutoff time for Q3. He has a big slide through the chicane.
Now, that would look cool off-board replay.
Just still a 10th up on his time. That's good enough. Oh, he's just invalidated though. He was a 10th up. That would have got him as high as P7. Unfortunately, that's him done. Only a minute 40. He might be able to just recharge the battery a little bit and go again. He will have enough time to complete a lap. Let's see who else is on a lap. I'm going to jump on board with Andocat, who's not too far behind him. There's Big Al's retired as well. He thinks his 120.932 is safe.
That is an absolute unit. Both times he waits until the very end to get a lap in.
Well, must love the pressure. Here comes Ando across the line. He loses by a 10th and a half, so not what he would have wanted. But here we're going to see a few drivers come across the line now. Ponton starting a lap. I think T-Mac just went up to P6 for the 121.208. And who else have we got? We've got Macadabri, but I think... Oh, he's improved by 0.6, but he comes into the pits. Batemate next across the line. Yet to set a time in Q2. What's this going to be? He needs a 121.6, and he has a 121 flat. So he should be through to Q3. As Eckham starts a lap behind him. Crush on an outlap as well. I think Trin is going to be the next one to come across the line. He probably be the first to get the checkered flag as well. Goes purple in Sector 2. So we've got a yellow flag in Sector 1. Looks like one of the Aston Martins. I think that's Eckham going very slowly in Sector 1. Not sure if he's out of fuel or if he's had a spin. This is looking like a good lap from Trin. Comes through the final couple of corners. One thing we didn't notice, Podsy is also retired, so 122.0, so he is out of qualifying.
Oh, he must have crashed.
And Trin improves slightly with the 121.210 as Captain of Gold goes 8th with the 121.142. And drop a little bit further back. I think that's Pondon coming around the final corner. It is. He's up by 0.2, and the time is going to be a 121.299. He's out of qualifying. Next is going to be Sandeezy across the line. He's improving by 0.2. Goes a 120.629. Still in P2. We've got, I think that's T-Mac coming into the pits. We've got the Aston Martin, the Mercedes Undercut is done. Eckham is out.
It's all on Crush now.
We got Batemate is done, but yes, we do have Crush in the Ferrari. Don't know what his time is like. To the second last corner, so he needs a 21.210 to get through.
Good exit.
21.062, he is through, and that means Trin is out of qualifying by 0.02 of a second. T-Mac just sneaking into Q3 with a 121.208. Trin is out with a 121.210.
0.002.
That is nuts. And look at that,
Oh,
1.2 seconds covering everyone who set a time. Absolutely crazy.
Q3 is going to be ridiculous looking at... I think Fever's going to take pole.
Fever has looked quicker than everyone by quite a while.
Yeah, but who starts alongside him, it could either be Mikhail Sandeezy or Big Al.
Yeah, Q3 though will have a bit of pressure on the drivers, and it may come down to who saved enough tyres, so keep an eye on that one as well. But at the moment, Fever 1.5 tenths clear of both Sandeezy and Mikhail, with Big Al quite a ways back. I think a few of these drivers did only set the one time in Q2 to be comfortable getting through.
Yeah, they should have 2 sets for Q3, because you do get that extra set.
Sandeezy's used 3 sets of tyres there in Q2, so he may find that he is struggling the pace in Q3. Trin as well was on his 3rd set of soft tyres to get knocked out by just a couple of thousandths of a second, so very, very close there. Thank you very much for the follow, Marcus, and also to Scottish Alf. Glad you could join us. Here we go through to Q3. The last 12 minutes of qualifying before we get stuck into our 50% race. So what's your tip for pole, Psycho? You think you're going to stick with Fever, or do you think Mikhail's going to pull it out of the bag at the last minute?
I think it's going to be a Fever pole. He's too rapid around here. I'd say Fever with probably a 21. 24 again. 20.4.
25.4. Okay.
20.4. I think, unless he's somehow got more pace in that car.
Yeah, I reckon. I don't know. Mikhail showed some pace in Q1. I reckon he might just. I think he only did the one run in Q2, so I think he might have saved a set of soft tyres for Q3. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him set a very quick time here.
Pulls the sandbags out of the car.
Absolutely, all part of our plan. Thanks for the follow, Simo. Solid effort by Alfa Romeo, both Captain of Gold and Sandeezy through to Q3, and both Alpha Tauris as well, both Alpines, so great effort there. But yeah, Bieber driving on his own in McLaren this evening, I believe. Hero unable to join us.
Gonna have to do some carrying tonight.
Absolutely. Big Al just around in the last couple of corners, and we'll jump on board for our first lap of Q3. Here we go. Opens up the corner nicely, gets on the throttle nice and early, comes into turn 1, brakes at the 75 meters. 5th gear, just idles the car through turns 1 and 2 beautifully. Run down to turn 3. He's got a little bit of traffic, but Ando stays well out of the way. Hopefully it doesn't distract Miguel. He runs a little bit deep. Able to get control of the car. Oh, flicks it up on the curb nicely. It has a big wobble on the exit though. Keeps it flat through the right-hander. Under the Pirelli bridge. Straightens the car up for this very quick right-left. And that's looking pretty planted.
Potter, the car performance is set to equal. And Marcus asked before if it's a league race or a tournament. It is a league race, but we do it as part of a bigger series. So this is I believe it's an 18-round series, right, Gus? This season?
14 this season.
14-round series this season. So this is round 4.
Yep.
Yeah, round 4 out of 14.
And this is looking like a very, very good lap by Big Al. Negotiated the traffic nicely, hugs the curb nice and close, gets on the throttle early, uses all of that exit curb, goes absolutely flat out across the line to 120.793, and here we go. Big Al is playing his hand now. That's a great banker lap here in Q3.
That's rapid. That is absolutely rapid for a banker.
Have a look here. We've got the Alfa Romeos giving each other a tow, I think. Sandeezy having to back out, I think. The Captain of Gold going ahead.
Sandeezy did tow Captain of Gold down the back straight. Oh, the back curve. Not really straight. Ali pointing out that Big Al is his brother.
Absolutely, he is. Captain of Gold across the line. 21.2 is the best he can do. Captain and Sandeezy, yeah, 136. So obviously sacrificing that lap just to help his teammate out there. Now Feber's next across the line.
He gets a tow now. Sandeezy's tow gets a tow off Captain of Gold.
Feber,
that was very well executed.
did Feber set a time there?
No.
He didn't say that he invalidated, but a 20.5 came up on the Delta for me. T-Mac comes across to the 21 flat. Next is going to be Baitmate across. No, it's going to be... Yes, it will be Baitmate next one to get a time on the board. Okay, Pack saying he invalidated, so just a bug on my spectator cam. Wasn't red.
Alfa Romeo's doing the tow really, really well, executing it pretty much perfectly down the back straight and the main straight.
Baitmate across with a 21.1, and the Mercedes of Andocat with a 21.1 as well. Crush is going to be next one across the line. It's a 50% race Optino, so we'll be done in about an hour's time. Crush across the line, P2 with a 121 flat. And I think... Who have we got? Big Al's coming into the pits. I think it's Sandeezy's about to come across the line. He's got a McLaren very slow. It's 6 to 2, and Sandeezy's out!
Whoop.
And he's just crashed at the final corner. And he just lost it on that exit curb. He did the same thing in Q1 as well. He nearly ended up in the wall, same as Apollo Pepsi in Q1. Unfortunately, he is done. Now, I wonder if this is going to affect anyone who's still going. No, Fever's definitely done. Mikau is going though, and it looks like we've cleared that incident. And here we go, Mikau comes across the line, and it's going to be a 120.5 from Mikau. Ekim next across the line, and he goes a 121.3, and that is it for the first runs in qualifying 3. Now, let's bring up that replay of the incident there. Need to see, oh, have I got it? Here we go. Come on. Where is it?
Absolutely.
There we go. Sand
rapid
easy. Came through the
time.
final corner. Just took a little bit too much. I think he might have actually touched the grass there, and he has been spat across the pit wall and out of the qualifying session. Very unfortunate there.
Bieber is keeping us in suspense by not putting in a time.
Well, I was saying before when we were waiting for Q3 to load up, Bieber's going to be under a lot of pressure to put in a time, especially now that Big Al is taking the sandbags off. Mikau as well is bringing his best, and Fieber has ruined a set of those soft tyres, so he's going to have one shot to set a decent time in this session.
Yeah, but pace of this whole grid at the moment, like excluding Sandy's time right now, they're all within a second. So if the race starts and you got to get in the DRS train, no one's getting away from anyone.
That's true. Yeah, Potter, so it's only a 50% race, so by all means, stick around if you can. You're in for a solid 40 to 45 minute race. Hopefully action-packed like our Tier 3 race was a bit earlier. Make sure you catch that up on YouTube on Monday once it's been uploaded. Who we got there? 10 AM in Dublin. Well, welcome. Hope it's a nice morning over there. And Potter, we host every Sunday night, so we start at 5 PM Melbourne time, which was just over 2 hours ago. And we run through a Tier 3 race, and then Tier 1 starts at 6:30, which was an hour ago. And then we've got Tier 2, which is on at 8:30 PM Melbourne time, which is just over an hour from now.
Point to note though is that we will be taking a couple of weeks off coming up because of the Australian Grand Prix and then Easter.
Absolutely. So, yeah, won't be on for the next 2 weeks, but we'll be back in 3 weeks' time and we'll be racing at Singapore, which will probably be a long one. So it usually is the longest race on the calendar, and there's always safety cars and there's usually rain. So it'll be an interesting one to watch. I expect a number of retirements as well.
A couple of guys opting to go out really early on their final run. So T-Mac is out there right now. Captain of Gold also going out pretty early.
Well, I wonder if they've fueled the tanks up just a little bit more so that in case they invalidate their first runs, they've still got enough fuel to do their second. As T-Mac comes around the final corner, and he will be the first of our drivers to start their final run.
It's a valid strategy doing that, but you have to remember though, if you do that, you're putting an extra lap of wear and then an extra in lap as well on those tyres. So you're starting the race on, say, 15%.
Well, don't forget this is Q3, so these tyres won't be the ones that they'll start the race on unless they're using the same tyre they used in Q2. So that's still the case in 2021. Next game, though, you can start on whatever tyre you want, so full qualifying won't really have much point, other than taking up an hour or so, but anyway.
Well, T-Mac's looking pretty rapid at the moment.
Absolutely, so he's coming through back straight, right along the lake. That sort of spot. Look out for me on the right-hand side, where I'll be over the weekend.
You bragging?
I am bragging, I'll be there all 4 days next weekend. Can't wait.
Oh, I haven't seen anyone cut that corner by that much.
He took a lot of curb there. Very committed to try and shave off a little bit of time, getting to the 1 minute 20s. And how's he going to go? Comes around the final corner now. He'll get the... I don't think he'll get the checkered flag. It's a little bit early in the session. And he comes across the line, improves by 3/10, and he's done a 120.774. A great time there from T-Mac.
That's a rapid time by T-Mac. That's surely got to be close to a PB for him.
That was a mega lap there. Now Captain of Gold will be the next one to come across the line. He's just coming into the fast chicane, which leads into Pepsi corner. He goes purple in the second sector, but he's done a Pepsi. He's lost the rear. He's kept it out of the wall there. A lovely little 360. And he'll be able to recharge the batteries. And he'll go again in just a moment. What a recovery there from the Alfa Romeo driver. Let's have a quick look at that one again. Look at this, he comes through the high-speed chicane, takes a lot of curb, and he lost it on that inside curb there, has the massive spin, and he keeps it pointing in the right direction. Great work from Captain of Gold there.
according to Ali in chat, Fever's been putting in 19s.
Wow, I reckon it's I don't know. Could be pulling your chain there just a little bit. You know, Ali's quite the practical joker. I mean, he keeps telling us that he's Big Al's brother, which is just ludicrous.
I still haven't seen the.
Exactly.
The for that one.
Exactly. Oh, it's Captain Gold. He's lost it again. He's lost it. Turn 1, turn 2. And he's hit the wall. He's lost his end plate, and he is done for qualifying, I think. That is him done.
I don't think that's a 19 for Fever. He looked a little squirrely out of the last corner.
120.2.
He got close.
Got very close now. Big Al's next across the line. What's he got in the bag? It's a 120.526. He's 9 thousandths of a second off Mikau. Not good enough, unfortunately. Now, Ekem is purple in the second sector. He's up by 2 tenths. It's going to be good enough for a 21.1. He's got to find more time in his final sector, though.
These guys are absolutely rapid around here. Fever's time, that's so quick.
Absolutely. Ekem around the final corner now, keeping it absolutely planted. Didn't quite use all the exit curb that's available, as we've got an AlphaTauri, very slow, Pepsi corner. Ekem improves by 8 tenths to the 120.587, goes P4 with the AlphaTauri. Batemate next across line with the 120.658. We've got the Mercedes. Vandercat's going to be next across line. He's currently up by a tenth and a half. That might get him into the 120s as well. Here we go. Mercedes comes across the line. Doesn't get into the 120s, but he does improve with the 121 flat. And next we're going to have the Ferrari of Crush across the line. He's improving by a tenth. Does not gain any places. He's 15 thousandths behind T-Mac.
Oh.
And I think that's pretty much it. We've got Captain Gold into the pits. I think we are done for qualifying. So congratulations to Fever on pole with a 120.283 with Mikau alongside with a 120.517. Just 9 thousandths of a second behind him is Big Al on P3 with Ekem. Just 600ths of a second behind him in P4. Followed by Batemate, T-Mac, Crush, Andercat, Captain of Gold, and Sandeezy. So it looks like an Alfa Romeo 5th row.
Half a second between the top 6.
Absolutely. So close. And a second covering the top 10.
Yeah,
Sandeezy, who had a couple of spins, unfortunately.
That's this is going to be a close race.
Absolutely. Can't wait. Here we go. Have the final results for qualifying show up in just a moment. And then we'll be onto the grid. Ah, 1 second covered the top 9. That's how close it was at the death.
Just looking at the race director, Mikhail did that on 1 tyre.
That's crazy.
He just went out, put in that lap and went, I'm done. That was rapid. That was really rapid.
Thank you very much for the follow, Conno. We don't have the new Australia track layout. That is the current, well, sorry, the 2021 layout of Melbourne.
When you booked your seating for the Grand Prix, is that your preferred spot?
No, just general admission for me. No reserve seating.
Fair enough.
But yeah, that fast chicane is absolutely mega if you go there, especially when you see the speed comparison where they've got the SUV, then they've got like a Mercedes AMG, and then they've got the old dual-seater Formula 1 go through. You just see the absolute sheer performance difference between the three. And the F1 just makes light work of that chicane. It's just absolutely crazy. Something can go that fast through those tight corners.
Absolutely is. I wonder if we have an issue looking at how long it's taking us to
No.
ready up.
No, we're all good.
Okay.
Everyone's here, all 19 drivers. Now let's have a
Onto
look
the
at the
commission.
tyres. Everyone on the softs except for CJM, who's on the mediums. So it's a pretty comfortable one stop here. So pitting around about lap 9 and then going mediums to the end.
I do expect quite a bit of carnage. Even if you look at Tier 1 last season, which wasn't that long ago, it was definitely not a clean race. And it's not a local problem to AFR. A lot of different leagues have been having an immense amount of retirements around Albert Park this game.
Yeah, it's tricky because it's such a narrow circuit. When you have any kind of network kind of problems, it's so difficult to race side by side without some sort of contact. So hopefully these drivers keep it relatively clean.
Not much separating the Alfa Romeo boys there. We'll see if team orders come into effect.
Absolutely. So they'll be side by side going into turn 1. But I'm sure they'll have agreed somewhat what will happen when they get there. They don't want to be fighting too hard, or they'll lose out to those behind. There we go. FIBA coming around the last couple of corners. Mikau very close behind.
Hero's not here to fight FIBA because him and FIBA usually trip over each other.
That's true. That's true.
FIBA might just go around the first corner and disappear for the rest of the race.
Yeah, I wonder if there'll be any strategic disadvantage as well without having his teammate. He's currently 3 for 3 this season. He might find it just a little bit difficult to go for 4 without his teammate to back him up. So, yeah, they're making their way to the grid. Last few drivers coming into their spots as we wait for the lights to come on. There we go. Lights are coming on. Long hold and they're away. Looks like FIBA had a pretty decent start. Mikau moves across to cover off Big Al. And Mikau actually loses position there to Big Al. And I think there was contact and Big Al's off the track. And he's lost out big time there. He comes back onto the track, but he's lost a couple of positions. His teammates now in front of him there as we go 2-3 wide, a little bit further back. And a big dive from the Mercedes there. And a Red Bull also cutting the track just a little bit.
It's Ando and Geordie. Keeping it relatively clean though.
Big Al down 11 places. He's all the way down to 13th now.
Gutsy going side by side through there with Pondon. Luckily Pondon behaved himself. Oh, Pepsi, what a dive!
Right. Big Al and Cat side by side. Pondon as well, trying to gain a little bit from that. Go through the very high speed chicane.
Gutsy on Geordie, I think will be the next one. Is he going to dive? He's going to dive! Oh, contact.
Yeah, the Red Bull getting forced on the grass. Big Al making his way through very quickly. The Red Bull there losing 2 positions. And FIBA already broken out of DRS range of Mikau, who's got Batemate, his teammate, close behind. But this is a great start for the AlphaTauri. Batemate up 2 positions at the start. Same with Crush. Trin up 4. Sandy's up 2. Potsy up 4. Big Al, the big loser, down 8. Endocut as well, down 7 places.
Considering where the AlphaTauris are at the moment, I'd be quite comfortable red flagging this race. Oh, bit of a squabble at the back there. Looks like Pepsi had a moment. Which is combined very wide.
Potsy's closing in on the back of the Alfa Romeo pair. Captain of Gold goes defensive. Mercedes a little bit too far back to make a move just yet, but he's closing very quickly. So you see Andercam moving further down the field. I wonder if he's picked up some wing damage from that opening scrap.
Very likely. Potsy has to carry so much more speed through that chicane. Is he going to heel dive again like he did last lap?
Yeah, late on the brakes. Alfa Romeo actually turning in on him slightly there, a little bit too early. You've got to give him a bit more space in that when he's that far up alongside. Potsy able to get through, and he's up to P9. A little battle between Macadabri and Pondon. Ooh, is Pondon running very deep. He's been compromised a little bit by Simdogger behind.
This DRS train is currently from P4 all the way down to P12, but it looks like it's going to break up at a couple of points here.
Yeah, Simdogger just getting a move done on Pondon into turn 1. Braked very late. Pondon doing the wise thing, just getting way out of the way. He scraps now with Apollo Pepsi for P15, and the Haas gets through. Oh, it looks like a little battle between Combine and AutoCAD as well for P17, and CJM at the back trying to get a little bit of a move on here as well. Not quite able to do it. Big Al now up to P10, back into the points after that horror first lap. He's on the road to recovery here, as Feber now 2 seconds clear of Mikau, who's managed to gap a little bit on the rest of the field, but his teammate's gone with him, just half a second behind, as we see Captain of Gold trying to come back. Oh, and actually, no, it's Geordie trying to go around the outside of Captain of Gold. Side by side. Captain of Gold able to hold onto the position. Geordie goes for a big dive, yeah, down the inside, but that does become the outside for the final corner. And not much he can do there. He will get DRS, though, on the pit straight. Let's jump on board with the Red Bull. Instead of DRS is actually... Captain of Gold's got DRS. Red Bull's got it as well. I think Captain of Gold just close enough to Big Al through the detection point. Big slide from the Red Bull, trying to carry as much speed as possible through the first 2 corners. Not quite able to do it. The Potsy and Sandeezy side by side through turn 3. Still side by side. This is not where you want to have happen through this very fast part of the track. Looks like Sandeezy yielded. Potsy up to P8 now.
Looking good for the AlphaTauris. Boats managed to break DRS to Eckham.
Big Al goes to the inside on Sandeezy. Oh, he's been spun. The Alfa Romeo just turning in on him there. And the Alpine's had a big spin. He's going to have to wait for every car to go past now. And what a shame. Big Al was doing really well to fight his way back up through the field. Now, I do have that on replay. I'll bring that up just a second. And we were watching there. Potsy managed to get through, and Big Al had a great run on Sandeezy there. And he pulled to the inside. It looked like he was in front of the rear tyres, and the Alfa Romeo just turning right across the front of the Alpine, and he has a little spin off into the gravel, so very unfortunate. Sandeezy's also picked up a 3-second penalty for exceeding track limits. So unfortunate there for the Alpine driver. Have a look through the field. We've got a few little gaps opening up, but we've got some little battle packs starting to form. Crush, currently in P4, has dropped off the back of the AlphaTauri pair, who are kind of in a race of their own. 2 seconds behind Feber, but 2.5 seconds in front of the Ferrari. We've got a little train forming with T-Mac on a good run around the outside of the Aston Martin through turn 3. Went a bit deep. Yeah, Eckham able to go around the outside of the Alpine. And holds on to that position.
I'm going to have to eat my words here. I know it's only lap 5, but we haven't had any retirements yet.
Not yet, not yet. There's still time. Most of these guys are doing pretty well to keep it clean, but obviously Big Al, unfortunately, caught up in a couple of incidents that I'm sure will be looked at after the race. Hopefully he's able to get a few fortunate safety cars so he can get back in the fight. As the leaders go through that fast chicane. Have a look a little bit further back. Simdogger closing in on the back of Captain of Gold. Used up a lot of his DRS though to stay in this DRS train, and he's picked up a 3-second penalty as well, just exceeding track limits there. We're only at lap 5. Plenty of time left to run. You've got to try and keep it a little bit cleaner than that. Having a little bit further forward. I think it was actually Potsy having a look at a move on Trin. We go in the Mercedes coming through turn 2. Trin does have DRS on T-Mac in front of him, who's also having a look at Ekim there going into turn 3. And he's got the move done nicely. Trin holding on as well. We've got a yellow flag at turn 2. Looks like CJM's had a little bit of spin. He's completely blocking the track. Bigal able to go through without any problems. He does pick up a 3-second penalty, though, for exceeding track limits. Looks like CJM doesn't have any damage, but those tyres are going to be pretty cooked. So I'm going to jump back up. Potsy and Trin are side by side. Going through sector 2 at the moment. It's like Trin able to hold on to the position. Potsy looking like he's got a lot more pace than the Haas driver. I think he's going to be sizing him up for a move on this next DRS straight.
Trin will have DRS as well, though, from Ekim to try and defend it, and Potsy has no ERS left. He's burned everything.
Yeah, it's
back
got
up
10%. Crush picks up a penalty for exceeding track limits. Trin's got a little bit more in the tank. Looks like he's been conserving quite a bit in this DRS train, but Potsy's using up a lot, just trying to get through the field. Just need to, I think, spend the next lap or two just conserving a bit of energy. Just trying to get a bit through. It looks like Trin ran a bit deep there. I think he might have just touched the gravel. Oh, and there's been contact between Potsy and Sandeezy there. I think Potsy checked up because Trin was going quite slow, and Sandeezy in the braking zone just went right up the back of the Mercedes. I don't know if he picked up any wing damage there, but he might keep an eye on him for the next few corners just to see how much time he loses, if any. Potsy looks like he's got a really good run on Trin here, but Trin's got a good run on Ekim as well. Goes to the inside of the Aston Martin, who didn't have DRS, and Trin moves up. Potsy trying to make a move as well. Capitalise on this. He goes around the outside of the Aston Martin. Come on, camera, give me something. And there, Potsy goes on the inside to the fast right-hander and gets the move done as well.
Captain of Golden Sim just had a massive squabble down the main straight. Cap winning out there.
Sandeezy having a look at Ekim as well. I don't know if Ekim's got a problem or if his tyres are a little bit overheated, but he's starting to drop back through the field. He's down 4 places since the start. Sandeezy sizing him up as they come into the fast chicane.
I don't think Sandeezy's got a good enough exit.
We had to think about it, going for the late lunge, but thought better of it.
Sim and Cap again, side by side. Sim gets ahead.
Okay, good move by the Aston Martin driver up to P11. As we see some of the leaders coming into pit. We've got there, it looks like Crush, T-Mac and Trin all coming in. This is lap 8. Crush sped in the pits, so that's a 5-second penalty for him. He'll serve at the next pit stop or after the race. And here we go. How's this going to pan out strategically? Looks like they might get a little bit of clean air. I think that's Big Al coming to the pits as well, so there'll be a nice little gap for the Ferrari to come out into. And we'll have to keep an eye and see what the leaders do to respond. So Potsy's now P4 with a 5.5-second gap to the Alpha Tauris, and they are 2.2 seconds behind FIBA, who's, well, just in a league of his own at the moment, just going to be managing his own pace.
Sandeezy is pushing Ekim around the circuit. He's going to be kicking himself for not pitting because he's going to get undercut really hard.
Absolutely, he's going to be losing a fair bit of time here, getting trapped behind the Aston Martin. He goes for a move down the inside. No, he does not have enough alongside, and Ekim able to maintain position. So we see there the Crush, T-Mac, Trin and CJM and Big Al all on the medium tyre now. So we'll see how much time they're able to gain on those fresher tyres. We're able to get much of an undercut as Captain of Gold picks up a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. You saw him there running a little bit wide. It's Ekim loses position to Sandeezy. Much better run from Sandeezy out of Pepsi corner, and the assistance of DRS able to blitz past the Aston Martin. We see Batemate is going for the undercut on his teammate. Peels off into the pits. Mikau staying out. Sandeezy coming in as well. Ekim staying out. We're seeing few different drivers coming in. So Captain Gold staying out as his teammate pits. So yeah,
we'll see how much Sandeezy loses here.
Absolutely. So let's jump aboard with Crush, see where he is in relation to Batemate, who'll be the first one to come out. He looks like he's pretty clear. But let's have a look at Sandeezy. Yeah, well behind.
He's lost the train.
Absolutely. And I think Crush has lost it. He's lost the rear. I saw him touch the curb and he got a bit sideways. I think he kept it out of the wall, but he's lost positions to T-Mac and Trin.
Yeah, that's going to hurt him.
He's still in front of Sandeezy though.
Yeah, Ekam held turn easy up so much. He lost probably 2 seconds that lap, just stuck behind him. Couldn't move.
It's a great little undercut there. So T-Mac now is 4 seconds behind Baitmate. But Baitmate was effectively P3, so T-Mac essentially P4 now.
T-Mac's had a lot of pace around here this week, so hopefully he can convert it.
Jumping up to Macadabry and Captain of Goal. It looked like Macadabry running a little bit deep there, a little bit of contact. We see FIBA and Mikau coming to the pits. We're going to see Potsy react as well. No Potsy staying out. No Potsy in the pits. There we go.
Ekam as well, he's in. Cap's in. Everyone's in.
Simdog is staying out though. 9 laps he's been on those soft tyres. He inherits the lead of the race. I think it'll be fresh softs though. He didn't progress out of Q1, so he'll have some extra tyres to be able to thrash a little bit.
He'll be praying for a safety car right now.
Ooh, so Baitmate ended up losing time there to his teammates, so Mikau stayed out. And he's now outside of DRS range of his teammates, so looked like Mikau might have just put the foot to the floor a little bit just to gain some track position on his teammate there. And looks like a little battle between Trent and Potsy here for P6. Been able to work his way past Crush.
Oh, Potsy.
He's looking very racy at the moment, but he's got the elbows out. Oh, the Trent runs a little bit deep. We've got a yellow flag as well, and it looks like maybe one of the Haas's, the other one, Apollo Pepsi, may have run a little bit wide, that fast right-hander in Sector 1.
Potsy pretty much pushing this Haas around the track, but not quite fast enough to get past. He has been saving a lot of ERS though, so he might do something at the end of this lap or start a next lap. Oh, he's going for it here. Up the inside again. He's done this 3 or 4 times this race.
Yeah, Trent just staying on the racing line. He doesn't want to fight that one too hard, as Simdogger also gets a penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
Smart by Trent, he knows there's no point fighting Potsy, just slotting behind, get the toe, get up, get further up the grid.
Absolutely. See Simdogger feeding into this DRS train. We'll see whereabouts he comes out, just behind the Red Bull of Geordie. And he's in front of his teammate Ekem. So that worked out quite well, but Ekem with the warm medium tyres thinks about going for a move on Simdogger into turn 3, but backs out, so Simdogger will remain in the points there.
He backed out pretty hard then.
Yeah, I think he didn't want to risk at all cold tyres on his teammate. Any contacts, as that would be pretty bad. So everyone is on the medium tyres. LBX, so
CJM still needs to pit.
Absolutely, so he's the only one who started on the medium tyres, so not a great start for him either. He only got up to P12 with everyone pitting around him, so he's got a lot of work to do. He'll be hoping for a safety car at some point.
Sanders is so much quicker than Crush through the chicane. Is he going to make a move here? No, outside! Dive! What a dive from the outside!
Yeah, great little move there, but he couldn't get it done. Crush still had the inside line. Had better traction as well. I think Sandeezy had to get right out of throttle up on that curb.
Yeah, that didn't end well, but it was a great idea.
Nearly in the wall. Great little save there. He's feeling the pressure now. He's right in the middle of this battle pack. Stretches from P4 all the way down, nearly to P12. CJM can get back inside DRS, and that's a mega train down to P13.
I'm sure he's pushing for it, but those tyres can't be feeling great at the moment.
Geordie looks like he's all over the back of the Alfa Romeo now.
Geordie's absolutely flying.
He's 4/10 up on his personal best. He's really starting to push now. Is he going to go for a move into the chicane? No, he's going to wait just a little bit longer. I'm sure Geordie as well will be conscious that everyone around him has got time penalties, so he doesn't have to fight them too hard, but he does need to be mindful that he doesn't want to drop too far back from the guys in front. Keeps it nice and steady through the chicane. Sandeezy has a good run on Crush again. Doesn't go for a move this time, so we jump back. Captain of Gold makes a move on CJM, but he runs a bit deep. CJM gets the switch back and maintains position. Nice little move there from the Williams driver.
Performing very well under pressure.
I think he might be a bit vulnerable here into turn 1, and Captain of Gold will have DRS. CJM won't. Look at this. It's so much quicker out of the final corner. Those old mediums really starting to slow CJM down. And Captain of Gold up into P12.
T-Max, sorry, nearly making another one. Potsy had to back out then before turn 4.
Yeah, T-Max showing some great pace at the moment. He's broken DRS from Trin, so he's pulling away from the rest of the field very nicely indeed. So great little race here, as we see. I think
Sandeezy's around.
Sandeezy has gone around. He's in the wall. He's missing his front wing. I might have caught that. I didn't quite see what happened there. We do have a full safety car, so let's just bring up this replay quickly while we can. And I pressed the wrong button again. There we go. I feel for the race director at Monaco. So, where is he? He was at the front of this train. We were just following. And, oh, there he is. So, it looks like he's just lost it on the exit curb. Unfortunately, that's cost him quite a bit. He's dropped down to P18, and he'll have to get that front wing replaced, and he has a 6-second penalty for track limit. So, of course, we just had our pit stop, so I don't think anyone except CJM is going to pit. So, this actually works in CJM's favour just a little bit. He get a reasonably cheap pit stop here, but everyone else totally just pit. Crush is coming in, though.
He's outside the window. His best bet now is to pit onto softs and then back onto mediums again the next lap.
Yeah, that's the problem with going the alt strategy, is that if there is one of these awkward safety cars between windows, it doesn't really help you. But it looks like the Ferrari might have actually had front wing damage there. No, Crush serving his 5-second penalty. That's why he's come in and chucked on another set of mediums. So smart play by him.
A couple of them. Simdog as well has a 5-second penalty that he probably could be serving if he wanted to.
Yeah, I think he might have forgotten that he's able to do that. I mean, you should be able to in the game, but it does let you, despite the fact that in real life you have to do it under green flag conditions.
Yeah. Just to point out, unfortunately, so Potsy's up 10 positions, and he was actually gaining quite rapidly on Batemate. So it's going to be a pretty spicy restart. We know what happens when Potsy and Mikhail get close on track.
Absolutely. Does have a teammate between them, though, so I think Batemate's shown exceptional pace in this race so far, so I think he's going to be pretty good at being rear gunner for Team AlphaTauri here.
Will he defend like a lion?
Maybe he'll defend like he's got a Honda engine and just end up pulling over because it blows up. And here we go. So in the safety car conditions, so I think we'll be going around for at least one more lap after this one. We're just waiting for the rest of the field to bunch up behind it. Jumping into the chat. Thank you very much for the follow. Base boosted or Bosted. The one, the only, and also T-Bar down Batty as well. Thank you very much for the follows. Appreciate the support. So
we're halfway through this race and we still haven't had any retirements yet.
That's right. So solid effort from all the drivers. Obviously, Sandeezy getting a little bit lucky there with the broken wing, but he's still in it. So anything can happen from here. Just call out a few good performances. We've got Potsy there up 10 positions. We've got Jordan Sindel up 8. Apollo Pepsi up 7. He's currently sitting in P12, so great start from him. Unfortunately, we do have some big losers today. Big Al down 13 places after, I think, he got forced off the track in the opening couple of corners. And he got turned around when he was trying to recover back up to into the points. So, unfortunately, he's having a pretty hard day at the office, but he's still in the fight. So, who knows, he could be back in the points before the end of the race. We've got Andercat down 9 positions as well. Sandeezy we're on board with down 9 as well. Pondon and Ekim down a few spots too. So, hopefully they're all able to bounce back, but as you said, no retirement, so it's still anyone's game from here.
Absolutely is. Looking at the grid, I'm feeling this will be our last lap under safety car, so we should be green again after this. Yeah,
Sandeezy just caught the back of the train, so we're just entering sector 2, so I think we should be back to green flag at the end of this lap. So the tyre age for everyone is around about 5 to 7 laps. So apart from the drivers who pit under safety car, everyone is still going a little while. And there we go. Very early decision to bring in this lap. So give Bieber plenty of time to back up the field.
Yeah, it absolutely will. Interesting call by CJM to not swap back onto the mediums. That means he's going to have to make another pit stop because those softs will not last.
He might be counting on another safety car later on the race, so that's what I did in Tier 3 a bit earlier. And yeah, when there are more incidents, it definitely plays out, but Tier 1 so far, we've only seen essentially the one major incident that's resulted in a safety car, so that might not happen. And Bieber's gone already, and I think he's caught Mikko out there. It's 8/10 gap already. Look at that, he's
so
absolutely
early.
bolted. He's already out of DRS range.
Oh, Potsy is all over bait, mate.
Great restart there from
He's
Fever. Caught
got
the
him.
whole field done. Now, Potsy's got to be careful he doesn't overtake Batemate before the start-finish line. And we've got a number of cars overlap further back. Both Ferraris going side by side. Oh, nearly 3 wide going into turn 1. Absolute mega restart. Jumping up to Potsy. He's still not past Batemate. Great defender here from the AlphaTauri. He's letting his teammate go, but he's unfortunately on the wrong side for that corner. Potsy gets the position done. Now T-Mac all over the back of Batemate now. He's going to be under a lot of pressure here. He's got to keep it clean like he did at the start of the race.
Yep. Potsy getting a mega restart there. He got plenty of notice from Fever, obviously. I'm shocked he went that quick. He absolutely caught McKenna.
Absolutely. Master plan there. Sandeezy's got past Pondon as well towards the back of the grid. Nice sort of move. And Apollo Pepsi all over the back of Macadabra. Looks like he had a shocking exit out of his own corner. So he's got to be a little bit careful here, Pepsi.
Bait needs a little more pace before the ice gets turned on, or else he's going to drop off this pack. All these front drivers pushing so hard, they're burning all the ERS. Fever as well, from Fever down to Bait.
Fever and Mikau trading fastest laps there as well, so they're both pushing pretty hard to try and break away from the rest of the field. Big shout out to Keeper in the chat, 18-month subscription. Well done, thank you.
A lot of fighting going on at the back of the grid. Big Al, CJM, Combined, Sandeezy, Ando, all just trading places. Oh, is that going to be a move? Sandeezy makes a move? Yeah, he does.
And nice clean move there on the Ferrari driver. Currently sitting on 17th combined, so I was saying before in qualifying, he's one of those silent achievers. Unfortunately, he just hasn't been the quickest here today. He has kept it clean. There's a lot of people in front of him with penalties, so he might just be trying to stay with them, get some of those positions after the race once those penalties are applied.
Yeah. So, scary watching these guys up the front. They're all sitting around that 1 second, 1.5 second mark from each other, so none of them are in DRS quite yet, but also don't have any ERS left.
Absolutely. Big Al trying to get past Crusher to turn 1. Didn't quite get it, but he's got DRS now. Or not, the detection point obviously not working yet. Tries to go around the outside of the Ferrari. Can't quite get it done. Taps him on the bum as well. We've got a yellow flag. Looks like the Mercedes of Potsy. Potsy spun. He's spun. He's pointing the wrong way. He's in the wall, and it's in a shocking place. He can't get a flick turn done until the whole grid goes past. And there he goes. Unfortunately, I think he did that on his own. I think he's running a little bit wide onto that exit curve. It's so easy to spin the car there. Unfortunately, yeah, we didn't quite catch that one. That's a shame. Sandeezy looks like he's dropped a few positions as well. Down to P18.
It looks like our leaders have now...
Oh, 3 wide, going around the fast straight into the chicane. Apollo Pepsi trying to go down the inside as well. And he's ended up losing out because he's compromised his exit down the DRS straight.
And on combined. Oh, what a dive!
Yeah, he gets the move done on the Ferrari there. And it looks like Pondon's got the move done on combined as well.
Combined, not looking comfortable on those tyres at all.
And Anacat's got the move done on Apollo Pepsi. He's coming to the pits. I think he's got some wing damage. That might explain why he was going so slow through the chicane. Gonna jump a little bit further up to Crush. He's got Big Al and CJM right on his tail. CJM, don't forget, it's on those fresh softs. And sorry, I'm just going to jump a little bit further up because Geordie's got past Trin for P5. So great effort from him. Move back up through the field a little bit. So Big Al's cleared. Crush now, he's up to P11. Almost into the points, but he does have 6 seconds of penalties.
CJ making this off pretty well as well, but he's going to probably have to box fairly soon. The softs would probably start to put the
They're
average.
only 5 laps old. He should be able to get them to last a little bit longer. And a couple of drivers in Tier 3, myself included, running the softs as the second stint. And they feel pretty good until you get to about lap 7, lap 8, and then they really start to fall off the cliff as Big Al goes for a move on Ekim, who had a pretty bad exit out of the chicane. And Big Al back into the points. Then a little bit further up, as Simdog has made the move on Trin as well. Trin falling back through the field a little bit now that he's on the medium tyres. He's got a yellow flag. Looks like Sandeezy might have had a spin in Sector 2.
Yeah, I'd say so. A couple of breaks in the train here, so T-Mac pulling away with that lead battle pack with Bates DRS and Geordie just dropping off behind him now.
Go Big Al right on the back of Macadabri now. The Red Bull going very defensive early. Big Al just goes down the inside, not even at the braking zone yet, and he gets the move done. CGM also getting the move done on Crush, but he goes too deep, and Crush comes straight back at him. Nice little move. A little switch back by the Ferrari driver.
Hats off to Ali's brother. He had such a shocking start, dropped all the way to the back of the grid, and he's up to P9 again.
Yeah, really good stuff from Big Al. He's fighting really hard to work his way back up through the field. We've got Simdog on P6 as well with 11 seconds of penalties, so he's going to drop quite a bit if the field stays this bunched up. The CJM was a little bit deep at the chicane at the start of Sector 2.
Nearly takes an endo out. It's so by endo though.
Great little scrap here in the midfield.
Yeah, Trin's dropped back a little bit, so now it's Geordie and Sim. If they
Yeah,
swap
I noticed before he was tumbling down the order a little bit. I'm not sure if he's got some damage or if his just tyres haven't switched on yet. He's lost a few positions since the safety car restart.
He has.
Simdog gets the move done on Geordie up into P5, so great little race here Simdog is running. He's just pushing a little bit too hard with the number of penalties he's got. He's just got to be careful he doesn't get too many and undoes all the work that he's put in so far.
Very smart by Geordie. He absolutely braked early, lets him have it, and then slotted in behind just to get the DRS to make sure Trin stays out of DRS. He doesn't want Trin in this fight at all. Very smart driving by Geordie. And he would also know that Sim has those penalties, so that position doesn't really matter. It's more about making sure you don't lose time.
Absolutely. Now Potsy's peeled off into the pits, so he got that wing replaced by the looks of it, so he's all the way down in P18 now. Sandys is retired in the pits, and that's unfortunate. Hopefully he doesn't bring out another safety car. Have to wait and see and hope. He's kept a goal, picks up another 3-second time penalty. T-Mac all over the back of Batemate. He's putting a lot of pressure on the Alpha Tauri driver. See Bieber coming into turn 1 with the retired Alfa Romeo just coming out of the pits. Thankfully, not getting in Fieber's way. But it's parked itself on the apex for Mikau coming through. And this is why you don't retire in the pits when it's green flag racing, because the AI does not park it safely at all.
No, that's a very silly thing to do. and could result in a very severe penalty.
There we
if
go.
that car
But
does
as
anything
it's
silly.
finally parked itself, as we see Andocat going for a move on CJ, but we actually got Macadabri and a Ferrari going off the track. So Crush and Macadabri having a bit of a moment there. I do not know what happened. It was just someone ran deep. I'm not sure if they went straight up the back of them, but it was bizarre. We've now got Geordie and Macadabri down in 15th and 16th. I'm not sure if the two Red Bulls came together. We had Crush as well, got turned around. He's down in 14th. Just on board with Captain of Gold now. He's in this little scrap for P6. Trin holding the fort at the moment from Captain of Gold. Big Al. Eckham not too far behind. Looks like Big Al's actually got a good run on the Alfa Romeo. I don't know if he's going to make a move into turn 1. He's getting very close.
Geordie's obviously dropped off a little bit, which is very unfortunate, but if he can make up some distance, he could still go quite a few positions looking at all the penalties in front of him.
Well, I think he had a bit of a spin before at turn 3, and we didn't quite catch it on stream, but yeah, we had a few spinners, so I wonder if there was a little bit of contact there as everyone cautiously getting past the AI. As Macadabri pits, I think he had some wing damage as well from that, so that's unfortunate. Nathan in the chat, I don't get that if they can't retire in the pits, what should they do? Because they don't want to cause a safety car or VSE. Well, they can keep racing until there is a safety car or a virtual safety car, and then they can retire. The clear rules have been outlined in AFR. That's what we expect from people. Because the AI will drive out of the pits and can be a hazard to the race leaders, as we saw just before. So thankfully nothing bad happened, but that's why the rule exists. As we see, Captain of Gold making a move on Trin for P6. Nice sort of move there. Trin trying to come back at him, but doesn't quite have the run. And have to settle for P7. Big Al making a really, really good fight here.
There are so many battles on the grid. I don't know where to look at, to be honest. This is
Yeah, it's
ridiculous.
starting to get very, very scrappy after this safety car. We've got a few battle packs forming. Mikau now has his teammate right behind him. Teammate able to close back into DRS range as Big Al looks... Oh, it looks like the Haas has gone around.
Trin lost it. Trin lost it out of turn 2.
Yeah.
Don't move. Oh,
He reverses
boy.
out of the way. Well done by Trin. But that was... Or is he flicked it back onto the track, and there we go. We'll have a quick look at that again. I'm not sure if there was any contact there with Big Al on board at the time. You can just see they were very, very close together. But no, I think you're right. I think Trin's just lost it on his own there and did very well to keep it out of the wall and also out of the path of everyone else who was on the racing line there.
Yeah, I think he tried to get it into reverse, but he had it sitting in first, and he like slightly forward, and then immediately flipped it in reverse.
yeah. No, he did well.
Yeah, T-Mac is closing in on Bay, which is a little concerning, but at the same time, Simdog is closing in on T-Mac, so that should hopefully keep T-Mac occupied. But we'll see how it unfolds these last 5 laps.
Well, an interesting point from Ali in the chat is that the Alpha Tauri seem to be working together. I wonder if Mikau's just backed off a little bit to give Baitmates and DRS to pull him away from T-Mac and the rest of the grid, who are going to be saving a little bit of energy for those final couple of laps. So, very smart thinking there from Alpha Tauri.
I'd say that's exactly what happened. That's what...
We've got Spicer in the chat as well, can confirm, so... We've got Simdogger making a move on T-Mac. T-Mac not finding it too hard. You can see the big 11-second penalty next to the Aston Martin, so not too worried about letting him through. Jumping back to Big Al, who's side-by-side with Captain of Gold through turn 4. They're still side-by-side. Oh, and a big snap of oversteer from the Alfa Romeo, and he's going to get done by Eckham as well.
Captain Gold backing out very well there.
Yeah, it did well. He had a big snap of oversteer there.
CJM is taking those tyres, it looks like all the way, and he's actually gaining a couple of positions doing it.
Yes, he's been on those softs for 11 laps. They've got to be close to punctures territory. We've got to keep an eye on that. So coming to the final few laps.
I don't think he'll make it. He'll have issues towards the last 2 laps or so, I think. Pond in on Crush.
The go. CZM's actually making a move on Ekim here in the DRS straight. And he's up into P8.
Yeah, Ali pointing out in chat as well. There's no way Mikhail's going to catch Fever, so might as well bring home the 2-3. Pondon nearly pushing Cross around the circuit. Those tyres have come alive for Pondon. He seems to have found his rhythm.
Absolutely. And he's might actually jump into the points here. There's a few drivers with 6-second penalties. He goes around the outside of Crush, but he gets pushed off by the Ferrari, run up onto the curb, and it's going to compromise his run down to the next corner, but he's got DRS and Crush doesn't. He's got the racing line as well, but look at the other Ferrari trying to go around the outside, but it has to back out a little bit. Pondon out on the outside, but that becomes the inside for the next corner. He gives a lot of space to the Ferrari there, but he has pretty shocking exit, a lot of wheel spin, and he loses the position anyway from the Ferrari, but he's got a very good run out of the corner, but not a lot of space there to get the move back, so we'll have to wait for next time around. Crush doing very well to defend the car there.
Potsy getting a penalty for ignoring blue flags just before.
Yeah, he's down in 18th position at the moment. He's probably on fresh soft, so he doesn't want to give the spot up to the race
he lost
leaders.
it! He's at the wall, he's gone! He lost it!
There we go.
Pepsi corner.
Pepsi corner claims another victim. Are we going to see a safety car?
Simdogger gets past Bait, mate. But he does have that penalty, though.
It doesn't look like the safety car's coming out. Bait mate. Yeah, as you say, he's lost the position, but 11 seconds worth of penalties for the Aston Martin. No need to fight that too hard.
Yeah. Now watch Mikhail disappear off into the distance.
His work is done. We go, last couple of laps. Feber with a commanding lead at the moment. Over 6 seconds clear of Mikhail. Looks like T-Mac hasn't been able to stick with the leaders either. He's 2 seconds back. We've got another yellow flag. Looks like Anacat might have had a bit of a spin. He has. The other Mercedes dropping out of the points. This has been an absolute shocking race for the Mercedes team. And he's been swallowed up by Pondon and Combined. He's out of the points. And he's got Geordie all over the back of him now.
Geordie chopping at the bits. After Pens, he is actually sitting at around P10, so he'll definitely want to try and get a little more than that.
He tries to have a look at the Ferrari, but too far back, and that might have just compromised him. And Geordie, who's got a pretty decent run. Another yellow flag. Looks like one of the Haas's has had a spin.
Yeah, we're a bit late for safety cars now. This will be a race to the end.
There's Apollo Pepsi having a spin there. Matt Cadabry taking the position.
What happened to T-Mac?
T-Mac is down to 17th.
Last.
Minus 31 seconds his delta is. I don't know if there's been a decent issue or...
Yeah, it's a decent issue. He's still actually running in 5th place. Okay. I nearly had a heart attack then. He was doing so well.
Yeah, on track he's still behind Batemate, so... Yeah, I think that's for some reason he's lost a lap there.
Yeah, he's...
Jumping around a little bit. Hopefully he gets that sorted.
Still in P5. Big Al's got 5-second gap to him, I think, around there.
Well, there's a nice little battle pack here for P9. Crush Pond and combined YouTuber Annika and Geordie. Geordie's going to gain quite a few positions here. He's kept it very clean so far. Apollo Pepsi gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pits. His race is just going from bad to worse.
Yeah, they're not very clean. Kine in the chat asking why there are so many penalties. These guys are on the line. They're pushing as hard as they possibly can, and Ando!
Nearly lost it. We saw that in the background there. Big wobble and save.
Yeah.
Just going to bring that up quickly. We've got the time. And you could just see the Mercedes in the background nearly lose it out of that fast chicane. And there he goes onto the grass. Big wobble. He managed to control it.
Started the last lap now. Fever has lapped Pepsi. Hopefully Pepsi doesn't get in the way. He's got a decent gap, so he should be fine. But Yeah, as Nate points out in the chat, that fight is actually for P10, not P9, because of T-Max desync.
Yeah, that's correct. Oh,
But yeah, Geordie would be chomping at the bits to try and get past these guys, because if he loses much more, he'll be out of the points.
absolutely. Oh, it looks like there's someone stationary on the track there, I think.
Oh yeah, that was a reset to track too.
That
think.
T-Mac? I think it was. I think T-Mac's had a little spin there at the chicane.
T-Mac has actually lost it.
Yeah, he's definitely lost at that time, and I think it's just sorted itself out in the timings. As you see FIBA come across the line, take the checkered flag, and get his 4th win in a row this season. Mikau comes across in P2, Simdog P3, but with penalties, they will promote Batemate up to P3. It's an AlphaTauri 2-3. A Big Al will come across the line next, and he won't jump Simdog because of his own penalties, and then got Captain of Gold, CJM, and then Ekem will come across the line 8th, but will jump up. No, he doesn't. Half a second behind CJM there. Crush 9th, then Pondon 10th, but Geordie jumps up to 9th place with his lack of penalties, so solid race from him. Then got Pondon, combined YouTuber, and a cat. T-Mac, Trin will be across the line 15th. And a little bit further back, we've got Macadabry and Apollo Pepsi, and well into CJM, managed to nurse those soft tyres home.
He did.
16 laps on those soft tyres, 16 laps.
That's ridiculous.
Mega drive there. I think the safety cars and the virtual safety cars helped him out there. But that was a mega drive from him. Well done to the reserve driver.
Simdog as well. He gained 12 positions that race from where he started.
Absolutely. Driver of the day going to Simdogger in the Aston Martin. Hats off to this man, FIBA. Didn't look in doubt at all for the entire race. Just pure masterclass.
He went past turn 1 and that was it. Never looked back.
that was as sketchy as he got. The race start after that was fine.
Even at the restart, he nearly had a second on Mikau before the timing line.
Absolutely, like he everything he did in that race was just perfect. So that's off to him indeed. He didn't get the fastest lap though. That went to Apollo Pepsi. So set that right at the end, even though he's a lap down, 122.626.
Pepsi just has to ruin it for everyone else.
He does. So I think that T-Mac is in the correct position there. 14th is where we have him. He had that spin on the final lap, so I think that's put him down the order correctly. He's on the lead lap still, so I think that'll sorted itself out. But yeah, they only had the 2 retirements, so well done to Tier 1. That is your lot for Tier 1. So thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. We will have Tier 2 coming up in about 13 minutes' time, so please stick around for that. Thank you very much, Psycho, for joining me in the commentary box this evening. I've been your host, Gus Rules, and remember, we will not be racing next week because we've got the Real Australian Grand Prix will clash with our racing slots, and we won't be racing the week after because that will be Easter long weekend, so a few people will be going away for that one. So I hope you can tune back in a couple of weeks' time. But yeah, thanks for joining us, and we'll be back in about 10 minutes' time for Tier 2, so please stick around.
See you guys.